In this video, I'm going to talk about Git branch basics. So when you're working on some project and you committed your changes and then there's a bug, so what do? You check out a branch, create a new branch, and you fix the bug and merge the new branch back to the master branch. So the branching is very, very important. So let's look at Git branch. It shows, okay, we have a single branch which is called master, and the asterisk suggesting that we are currently on this master branch. Now, where does the master branch come from? When we use git init, it creates a new branch called master. This master is just a name. By default, it's called a master. There's nothing special about master. You can rename it. So git branch, rename master slave. Git branch, see, the master is gone. It's renamed as slave. Let's move it back because, by convention, you should name it master. Okay, we have one single master branch. That's when we create the Git repository with git init. Now let's use git branch with the R option. There's one remote branch called master. It's under the origin. So when we create a remote repository, use git remote add the origin. Git remote add origin is just a name. Origin is a name that you can replace with any other name. You can git remote add whatever name, like GitHub. So you can also rename it from origin to GitHub. Doesn't matter. So git remote rename origin GitHub. Takes a little bit of time. So now git branch, see remote branch, we have GitHub master instead of origin master. So there's nothing special about the keyword master or nothing special about the keyword origin. It's just by convention we name these guys origin master. So let's revert back to convention. Git remote rename GitHub origin. So rename it back to origin. Takes a little bit of time. So now if you use git branch with all the branches, you can see there's one local branch called master, which is the active branch, and there's one remote branch called master also under the origin repository. Okay, if we visit the GitHub, you will see the GitHub page. Here it says the master. This is the Git demo. There's one branch. This is the default branch, master. So when you delete remote branches, you will not be able to delete the master because that's the default unless you switch to a different branch under this GitHub. So because the master is the default branch, you will not be able to delete this remote branch unless you switch to a different branch as default on the remote server. Okay, let's talk about creating new branch. Git branch. So you see the current branch is master. When you create a git branch with a new branch, say slave, you are creating a new branch of this master. So let's see git branch. It shows local branch, master, and slave. Master has asterisk because you are still on master branch. If you want to switch, git checkout slave. Now git branch, you can see slave it has asterisk, so you are on slave branch. If you make some changes, commit files, it will not impact master. So the git branch and git checkout are two commands. Now another often used command is git checkout, say master. Now there's no difference between master and slave, the same thing, and with -b, and let's call it servant. So you're combining two commands into one line. You check out the master branch, then you create a branch called servant, and also you switch from master to servant branch. So let's see git branch. You have three branches now: master, slave, and servant. So git checkout with a branch name with a -b and the new branch name. You actually check out a branch, create a new branch, and switch to that new branch. This command is very often used, this git checkout with -b option, because this allows you, as I mentioned previously in the previous example, you have a bug. What are you going to do? Check out master, create a new branch, and start working on that new branch. So this command, one line, handles all the multiple operations. If you want to delete a branch, it's fairly easy. Git branch and lowercase d and slave. Now git branch, how many branches? Only 2 branches left. Master and servant. If you git checkout master, you can now git the branch delete servant. Now git branch. Oh, there's only master left. We are back to the origin. Just one branch called master with no other branches. And when we use git push, remember we added the current branch to the remote server. You have a origin with this upstream, which means you're pushing to the server, and called master, you're pushing the current master branch to the server with also the same branch name, master. So this is git push. And now let's create another branch. Git branch. Oh, let's check out. Git checkout master and -b slave. Git branch. We create another local branch called slave, and now slave is active. Let's git push origin u slave. So we have pushed this slave branch to the server. Now if we use git branch, all branches, you can see, oh, there's master branch locally, slave branch locally, which is the active branch. Because of the asterisk, we have 2 remote branches, master and slave. And if you go to this remote server, GitHub, you will see, hey, we have this master branch here, and there's a slave branch here. If you switch to slave branch, you will be able to delete the master branch. Yeah, but the master now is the default, so you cannot delete master. There's no difference between master and the slave. Those are just 2 different names. Now let's delete the local branch. Git branch -d delete. Okay, let's git checkout master. Git branch delete slave. Git branch with everything. Now you have just a master branch, which is the current branch, and you have 2 remote branches, slave and master. Let's delete the remote branch. Git, here you, instead of using git branch, use git push delete and slave origin slave. Now git branch a. We have just 2 branches now, local branch master, which is the current branch, and remote branch master. You just delete that guy with a git push. So to delete remote branch, use git push -- delete and the repository name, which is origin, and slave, the branch name. And you need to make sure this branch is not the default branch. So here on GitHub, the default branch is master. So that's why I can delete it. If you delete master, you will get an error message. Yeah. So the remote has to have 1 default branch. Okay, so that's about branch management. How to create a branch, how to delete a branch, how to delete remote branch, how to rename a branch, things like that. Okay, I think that's enough for this video.